Good evening and welcome everyone. And thank you for joining us tonight for a brand new season, brand new episode of Truly Live, your weekly digital talk show with co-host Oliver and Yaulanda Blue. And we have some special guests and some special things to celebrate tonight. And we will be right back. Thank you.
Find a way to escape all the pressure I feel growing inside of me because I'm far away from you, knowing that you are my source, so I gotta find my way. To the conclusion that you are the eyes that see past all confusion to a place called sanity. You take my hand, I'm free. please, please save me. Your sweet love away, but you stay right here beside me, never letting me go. Now I know the love I needed was right here all along. I know that to forgive all the hurt and pain. Love is enough to remove all you can change. Love is enough to make up for the hurt and pain. I know that love is enough. God's love is enough.
If you bump it, it'll fall. It's already there.
God's love is enough.
Miles.
God's love is enough. God's love is enough. Oh, I can't imagine living life without you here with me. So glad this love will last an eternity. Oh, what joy and happiness I feel when I call your name. Now it is plain to see your love for me has held me sustained. I know that
Truly, the real you loves you. 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 Truly.
All right. Truly, 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 truly. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this brand new season and brand new episode of Truly Live. I call it Truly Live 2.0. And we are so delighted to be here tonight. It's a special night for us. We have special guests. That's with an S. And we also are here at a time in our life where we're celebrating our 32nd anniversary. And so tonight's going to be somewhat special. And we're glad that you are here. And we see that Naomi, one of our patrons, have already given us a greeting. Thank you, Naomi. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And to all of our patrons and to all of those that may be first time listening to this weekly talk show, which is what it is, a talk program.
Hello, Dr. Jill. Welcome.
Hello,
Thank you so
Jill.
much for joining us.
And thank you. It is a happy anniversary. And so tonight we're going to somewhat veer from our normal segments, and because we want to give as much time as we can to our guest tonight. And so if you're here for the first time, we invite you um, to sign in the comments your name and maybe where you're viewing us from. We certainly like to acknowledge you. And so for those that may be first time listeners, we are the Blues, and we are co-hosts and co-founders of Truly OB LLC, which is a professional personal development company where we share uh, our coaching services. Both Yolanda and I are certified transformational coaches. And so what we get to do is work with people. And we work with people in such a way to help, get clarity around their true identity, and also to help people to get clarity around what they really love in their life. We share some universal principles, transformational principles that can help you get there. And so not only do we share transformation, but we share a whole lot of love. So thank you for being here with us tonight. And with that said, we are going to recognize and acknowledge our patrons, all our patrons that are in the house tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a patron. Thank you for supporting the work that Yolanda and I do in the world. And if you're not a patron, that can be easily done by signing up to support our weekly program and all the other work that we do by going to www.patreon.com // truly live. And you just go there and sign up, and you'll see there multiple tiers where you can engage with us as a patron. And we love to have you to join what we're doing, because we believe that this work is so vital and very needed in 2022 and beyond. So thank you for your consideration. And we see, oh, MB, is that you?
That's me.
Okay. All right. So with that being said, also we'd like to acknowledge.
Hello, Brenda. Thank you for joining
Hello,
us.
Brenda. And Brenda is a patron of ours also.
Yes.
She supports us, and she's from the northern segment of the world where we share.
One of
And,
our Canadian friends.
She is our
Yeah.
neighboring Canadian friend and patron. So thank you, Brenda, for being here tonight. Always blessed to be in your presence. And with that, also like to send happiness to all those who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries during the month of August. Specifically, those that may be celebrating birthdays this week. We say happy birthday to you from Truly Live. And it goes without saying, we won't let a program or an episode go by without acknowledging our parents, Mama Blue, who is my mother, and
my mother in love,
yes,
indeed.
yes, and Yolanda's dad,
Dewey.
Dewey.
We call him Papa.
We call him Papa. And so we send out love and joy and peace to them today, and thank them for making it possible for Yolanda and I to share our unique gift in the world. And with that said, I think we're just going to bring our guests on to the stage.
I am so excited. This tonight we have not just they're friends of ours.
Yes.
They are friends of Truly Live because
Yes.
they are patrons.
They are patrons.
They are incredibly creative, talented, gifted, and they're just full of love.
Full of life. And they carry a vibratory frequency in their life that, as you hear their story as they share it, that they are just multi-faceted people.
Yes, yeah.
And have done a lot of things. And so with that said, we're going to bring them on the stage.
I'm so excited.
Okay, see if we can't get them added in here. There they are.
Hi.
We're so happy and honored to be here sharing with everyone.
Hello, it's Carol and Bob Penman. These are our Indiana friends. They're patrons, supporters of Truly Live, and we're so glad to see you guys tonight. Thank you so much for agreeing to be on our show.
We are pleased.
All right.
So we have Carol and Bob here for a number of reasons. These are some really multifaceted, multi-talented people, but we asked them to come on because we liked their story. We enjoyed their story as to how they got together as a couple, and then they've done all these phenomenal things as a couple. So we asked them if they would come on. Plus, we've personally benefited from their creativity and talent.
Oh, absolutely.
So we wanted to share that.
And they've been in our stratosphere as long as maybe a year and a half or so, but they have been here from the beginning with Truly Live and been gleaming the teachings and been applying the teachings that we have been sharing. And so they're really almost like, the evidence of the things. They are the substance and the evidence of the thing that is hoped for and the thing that wasn't seen, but they're now seen.
Yes.
It wasn't seen, but now they're seen. Yes. So welcome, Bob and Carol.
So I want to put this comment up because this is, I think, someone that may know Bob and Carol. Can you read that?
Dear friend.
Yes.
So Patricia, thank you so much for joining with us.
Patricia Nelson says, happy to be here to support Carol and Bob.
She's Patricia and Bob Nelson.
All right.
We're so glad to have you guys here with us
Thank you
tonight.
for joining tonight.
And Naomi has jumped on. So hello. Naomi is she's a patron too. She says hello to Bob and Carol.
Good evening, Bob and Carol. Right. All right.
Okay. So let's get started. Let's do this. Okay.
Okay. You can bring up the first slide, Oliver.
Outstanding.
In January, Yaulanda and Oliver offered to all of the patrons a vision workshop, which we partook in, and it was fun and informative and very motivational. And one of the important things they shared with us that having a written vision statement is very important because it becomes a living, growing, changing, and expanding document of guidance and manifestation. As Bob and I looked over our past 27 years together, we realized this statement had been written on our hearts and guided our life over all of these years. To share our passions, interests, talents, and gifts with each other and the world as equal partners in love, marriage, and business. Yaulanda and Oliver also shared that it's important when you have a vision that you question, is the vision or dream worthy of you? Is it worthy of your commitment, your devotion, your time, energy, and your work? And in order to validate that worthiness, they provided 5 questions that you should ask yourself. So, does our vision or dream give us life? Yes, it's kept us joyous, enthusiastic, and engaged in our life together. Does it align with your core values? Very much so. Will it cause us to grow? Yes, and it's kept us young. Do we need help from a higher power? Always. Is there good in this for others? That is part of our mission statement, our vision statement, and it's one of our core values. So we'd like to move on now to tell you the story of this ever-changing vision and evolving vision and share our life and story with you.
Well, Carol, before you move on, thank you for sharing this slide. It is something that we have taught here on Truly Live, that it is so important that we decide and make a committed decision about what we love. Mm-hmm. Really, there's no map or no direction or no blueprint can be created until there's a decision made about what would you love with your life, what calls you to come alive. And so this is the fundamental principle that we teach here at Truly Live and in our practice. And the first thing is to help people get clarity around what they truly love. And then once they decide for that, and then what we call this is the 5 test. We call this is the 5 test to test that dream or that desire or that thing that you want to make sure that it is worthy of your time, your talents, and your resources. So great job. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it.
No problem. So we're ready for the next slide.
Carol and I had a mutual friend, and he owned an antique store. And one day when I was in the antique store, Carol came in, and our mutual friend introduced us. And basically, that's where it all began. I found out that Carol was interested in vintage and antique things, just as I was. And we
began our story.
Yep.
Bob took me to my first auction, and I fell in love with auctions. So between auctions and secondhand stores, we started to gather up some things, and within a few months, we rented this space. This is the first space we ever had together, and our collection of our goodies that we'd found.
And approximately 2 months, next slide. Approximately 2 months later, we decided we did not have enough room there, and we moved to an old barn and named ourselves the Renaissance Workshop. We had a larger inventory here, and I refinished furniture and repaired it. Carol did all the bookkeeping, inventory, price tagging, and we stayed here approximately 1 year.
And during this time, we realized that the business was helping our relationship just as much, because we were learning to know each other very quickly, being together all the time, and we were learning each other's strengths and how to use them accordingly. The next thing we moved on to, I came across Antique Avenue Mall. And it had been an old Ethan Allen store and had over 40 rooms, so it was an ideal place for an antique mall. Over a 5-year period, we kept expanding to larger spaces. And when I first saw the store, on the corner room, there were glass windows all the way around 2 sides of the room. And I remember thinking, oh, it would be my dream if we could get that room. Well, by our 4th year, we were into the big room, and the dream had come true, and we still had another room that had more goodies. So it was a wonderful time while we were there, and we learned about individual and joint responsibility, and we really learned how to cooperate, how to give and take, and how to work through differences. The next thing that came along,
Carol, I have to interrupt you just 1 second. Is that you in the phone booth?
Yes, that is me.
Oh my goodness.
So that is a wooden frame phone booth.
That is a vintage old
oak antique phone booth. And we found it, I refinished it, put it all into good shape, and there it is with Carol in it.
Wow.
Probably one of our most unique pieces of inventory that we had throughout our whole business. Very nice.
So from your slides, I already see 2 pieces that I would have purchased. One of them is on this page. One was on the other page. So
listen,
guess it's good we were not in Indiana, huh, Oliver?
Listen, Yaulanda loves all things wood.
I do.
Yes.
And so she would have been a regular at this antique shop if she was in your life at that time. But it's beautiful wood.
It is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. All right, let's go to the next slide and see what else they have.
Well, I had been walking down the street, and I saw this building that said for rent, and Bob had always had a dream of having an antique store. So we went and checked it out, and we decided to go for it. So we became the Antique and Gift Emporium. Next slide. And in the fall, during the fall festival, they had a merchants contest for scarecrows, and we ended up winning as the best scarecrow display.
How about that?
So we're ready for the next slide.
And that was back in the day when Bob had a comb and a brush.
Yes.
Yes, I did. Even the ponytail.
We had 5 showrooms, and this shows you 2 of those rooms. The top are the kitchen area, and below that is one of the bedrooms that was in the front window that you could see when you came in. And again, Bob often refinished pieces or repaired them or fixed them up. So we kept a top quality product. Everything we did, we wanted to be beautiful and beautifully displayed.
Well, that is a gorgeous antique sewing machine that's over there. The one with the foot
With the
pedals.
pedal.
I remember those. I never sewed on one of them. I'm not a sewer, but that's gorgeous. I probably would have had to have that piece in my house too, even though I don't sew.
Yes, you would have been a wonderful customer, Yaulanda.
Yes, I would have.
I'm sure on that. Then the next slide shows our master room, the main showroom when you came into the store. And the slide on the top right was right in coming into the store. And we had easily fallen into those beautiful display cabinets for our nicer collectible glass pieces. And then another shot on the left side again shows some collectible wares that we had, as well as more pieces of furniture. And then down below you can see, and on the left side there's 2 beautiful lamps that came into our possession to pass on that we were really thrilled about.
Wow, gorgeous stuff.
While we were here, we realized that we liked each other as much as loving each other, and we really decided we worked well together.
And after 1 year, due to very little foot traffic on the street that we were on, we were also unable to do a lot of advertising. So after 1 year in this store, even though it was my dream, we had a good time, we enjoyed it, we had no regrets, and we decided to move on.
So time for another experience.
Right, but before we went to another, we went to another experience while we were doing the antique business. And this had to do with our church. We attended a church.
No, it skips.
Oh, I skipped a place. I skipped skips. Just about the time we were going to close our store and didn't know what we were going to do, Skip's Restaurant invited us to join them in changing their banquet rooms into antique entry areas and all antiques. So we moved into their restaurant and had 2 large banquet rooms. And then we had a large entrance area with our stuff. And then we also had the hallway into the...
That's not it.
No, not yet.
That's fine.
Okay.
That was me. I told him to go ahead. See, that one was on me.
That's okay.
Oopsie.
So we were at Skip's for about 2.5 years when they decided to go back to the
doing banquets. So that meant we had to pull out and give them back their banquet rooms. And it was a time when antiques was kind of on the downside. In this area, I don't know about every place else, but in this area, antiques were kind of on the downside. So we made the decision it was time to quit doing antiques. We had a big auction and sold off everything.
So while we were doing the antiques, we were attending a large church in Chicago that seated 5,000 people. And they had funded and built Johnny Coleman Academy, a private elementary school. Now, before the school opened up, one of the ministers came to me and said, Carol, we have special walls. Behind the wallpaper, they're all like bulletin board material. And she said, I'd like you to make us an entry bulletin board. That was the only guidance she gave me. Well, we had 2 weeks to do this, and all I can say is spirit took over because what we accomplished is amazing. I designed the 2 murals, and Bob helped me create them and put them together, and then we went and installed them. Now you can bring up the first mural. Now this mural is 8 feet high and 20 feet long, almost to the ceiling. And this was right when you walked into the school. Bob built the tree, so it was 3-dimensional. All of the leaves had the children's names on them. And the thing with the murals was each month we changed the murals, and they were 3-dimensional. I spent a lot of time in dollar stores buying all kinds of things to attach to the murals to give them a 3-dimensional look. Next slide.
Wow.
So Carol, so before we move to the next slide, so you guys meet in an antique store.
Yes.
How long after that before you guys actually got married?
Well, we had a long courtship. We dated for about 1.5 years, and then we were engaged for about 1.5 years. I wanted a partner who was along the same spiritual path that I was, and the church that we went to in Chicago was founded in my beliefs. And Bob started classes right away. We took the beginning classes together, and that December we got married in the church. And Yaulanda
Wow.
sang at our wedding reception because we got married upstairs in the church, and we came down for the Christmas Eve church service, and she was the guest speaker. So we tell everyone we had 5,000 people at our wedding. Yaulanda Adams sang at our wedding, and we had a candlelight ceremony, and we didn't pay a penny.
Oh, wow. That is so neat.
Now that's a blessing. And so Bob met the one requirement.
Yes.
The one important requirement.
One requirement. He had joined me on my spiritual beliefs and path, and we were very united in that. And we have remained there.
Yeah. Well, that's so very important in relationships. And so Bob.
Yes.
Something has frozen. Well, this was the other mural. I'm going to talk on an assumption that you can hear me.
Right.
Let me wait.
Okay, Carol, we're still live. You can
go on. Okay. When I was a special ed teacher, I had a bulletin board that had 3 of the Peanuts characters with signs that they held. Well, when we wanted to design the other, we decided to take that theme, and we developed the murals with 10 of the characters, and the school had beautiful work ethic value guidelines for the students. So we made a sign that fit each of those responsibilities. On this one, you can see the sign that says Marching to Success. Now, in their hands are real little stockings from the dollar store. Those are live poinsettias. Those are little figures across the top of their signs. We made everything 3-dimensional. So we have another slide to show you 4 other months.
Okay. Next slide.
As you can see, we've got Halloween, and they all have masks on. The next one on the top is Mother's Day, so they each had a card with a bouquet of flowers and birdhouses on the top of the signs and the kite in the air. Then down left-hand corner, it was Easter, and they all had little Easter baskets. And over on the right-hand side, we had the Valentine's Day, so they had their hats and their mufflers on.
And it's a little hard to tell from the pictures, but all the characters were 3 feet tall.
Wow. And this is all 3-dimensional, right?
Everything, yes.
Everything that we had was 3-dimensional, yes. So the kids loved it. They just loved it. And we always had their names on the ones in the main hallway, on the leaves, or whatever we had. So
Wow.
And we did do this for the church for
The donation.
For a donation. We just donated our services and our materials. And then we were hooked up with 3 public schools that we did for. We got paid for that in Chicago. And so for about 4 years, we did our murals in 4 different schools.
Wow. That is so neat.
Very neat.
Then our next project, Bob's going to talk to you about it.
Where'd you go? Oh, there are-
Slide.
Next slide. There we go. I worked as a driver making deliveries for about 8.5 years, and a lot of my deliveries took me out into the country. And after maybe a month or so, I decided to start carrying my camera with me. I would photograph different barns and scenes that I liked when I was out there. And then we decided to do
Shows.
something on.
No, you guys are on. Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. We decided to do art shows. The upper right-hand corner is how we had our setup. We had 2 10-foot tents with all our displays set up in it. And the lower pictures were displays that we used on indoor shows. And the top left was when I started making barnwood frames.
Bob got that wood from a store downtown Griffith, American Resources, and it's all vintage old barn wood that he used. In fact, we had one barn that the family came and asked us to photograph because it was being torn down. So we photographed the barn, and after they sold the property, they said we could display it in the show. Well, Bob ended up going downtown and got barn wood from that barn and framed the picture. It was amazing. We had a little sign on it so that, and then somebody bought that picture. But it, yeah, a very unique situation.
Very
Down in the
unique. Yeah.
lower right-hand corner, all of those pictures are framed in the all glass pictures so that you would just see his photographs.
Mm-hmm.
They were not matted or anything, just a glass cover on that.
Wow.
We need to move on to the next slide.
Okay.
This is just a sampling of some of the barns I took. The horses, when I took the picture of the horses, I was making a delivery and they were in the front yard of a people's home. I just thought it was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Have to look really close, but we would always ask people how many horses are in that picture. Look closely. How many horses are in that picture?
How many horses are in that picture, Oliver?
Is it 5 horses?
4.
No.
There's
4.
the
4
3
horses.
and a small goat
There's
in the
4
back.
horses, and then there's a little fawn in the back. I know because I got the book. You guys sent me the book, so I've already seen the picture up close.
So it would take people a while to see those little legs in the back, but they eventually would, but we would tell that story. And Bob did not do touch up on his photos. He would take out telephone lines or something like that. But his photos, what you see is what he saw, and we were very proud of that.
Wow, they are absolutely beautiful. I
And
love barns.
it was kind of my way of preserving the barns because they were around here. They are just being destroyed. They burned down.
Storms.
They're just falling apart.
Yeah. Wow, they are absolutely gorgeous.
And the next slide is just flowers and different things that I enjoyed taking pictures of also.
Right, because our name was Barnes and More Photography. So we had a nice selection of just a variety of things. And we sold the glass frames. We sold matted and framed pictures. We sold cards. Cards were very, very popular with the pictures. And
that's a beautiful picture. That's a beautiful photograph of the eggs in the nest.
oh, that has a little story with it too. We had a kind of a bush out in the front, and we saw the nest in there. So Bob just stuck the camera in, flashed this amazing photograph, and it's not on here. But when the babies were born, he took a picture, and we have a picture of the 4 little birds in their nest.
Neat, neat.
Wow.
We can move on to the next slide. This is my latest endeavor. I have 2 nephews that are really good carvers. They do a lot of fantastic carving, and I kind of got interested in carving after I seen what they were doing. And these are called comfort birds. They're known quite well in the carving industry, and I just everybody who carves comfort birds has a little different take on them, and this is my take. Right now I'm using butternut wood, 100-year-old barnwood, mahogany, and black walnut. That's basically what I'm carving, and we sell them mostly just by word of mouth from people who've seen them and know.
Or people that have one. And we have a card design that talks about that they bring comfort and love and joy. Holding them in your hand is truly calming. And I know Yaulanda can attest to that.
I'm going to share my comfort birds. I received the first one as a gift, and it was actually in my favorite wood, which is mahogany. Which of course I hadn't shared that with either Bob or Carol, but that's the bird that they decided to gift to me. And so since then, I have purchased a few. I wanted you guys to see my flock.
This is amazing what she's done.
And the camera will focus in just a minute. All right, I need to put this one in. Did it focus yet? Put my last one, and this one wants to move. Okay, is it focused yet? Here. Okay, I'm going to actually do this real quick to make it refocus. Hold on 1 second. Oh,
there.
To get out the way.
Isn't that beautiful? So that's my flock of birds. My first one was the mahogany. And then I'm talking and not on the mic. Sorry. So my first one was the mahogany. That was the gift. And then I actually ordered mahogany birds for my best friend. So now we all 3 of us have the mahogany birds. And then I got the barnwood. And the reason that that's so special is it actually came with a little heart inside the wood, which is just so phenomenal. And I don't know that I can actually show that one. Let's see.
Yeah, it was in the grain of the wood, a heart. And we said that was definitely for Yaulanda, from our heart to hers.
So it's this one here. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it where it'll pick up on the camera. I don't see that.
No, that's fine.
Get it down just a little.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
There it is. Can you see the heart?
Yep.
Outstanding. Yeah, there's the heart. So and then as Bob was carving the birds with other woods, I wanted the other woods. So Oliver got the black walnut. I ordered one for him. And then I got a butternut because I didn't have one of those. So that's my flock, and I'm so excited about it. All right, so let's let them get back to their presentation. Come on, birds. Oops, I'll get him.
Thank you for sharing that, Yolanda. We have been honored to share so many birds with you. She's a good giver of birds, and that. I just want to share a little bit that Bob and I not only came together interested in the antiques and vintage goodies, but we both have creative talents and we both kind of did our own thing before we met. Bob has done several things. I really call him the Renaissance man because that means someone who's done a lot of things, an expert at some, and Renaissance stands for artistic. But he has done silver and semi-precious stone jewelry. He's done stained glass. He's done scrimshaw, and that amazes me how he does that scrimshaw, all those little lines. He does woodworking. He has done metal art to include chandeliers and lights, lamps that he's made with different metals. While we were in the antique business, he made a lamp out of a clarinet, one out of a trumpet,
Wow.
one out of a fire hydrant, and our lamps always sold, that was for sure. And then before I met him, I created my own product called the Witch Collection. And they were small baskets, mugs, and pots that had in them, in a fan shape, wooden hearts that were different colors to match. And I calligraphied on those the words friends and family, health and wealth, smiles and hugs, dreams, wisdom, love, and peace, which I thought was everything you would want to have. So I was at doing shows. Bob did shows with his jewelry, and he was in stores, and I was in 3 stores. So we were really the right people coming together at the right time.
Outstanding. I want to share a few of these comments with you guys. So Brenda, this is one of our Canadian friends. She says, incredible. I bet the kids love it.
That was about the murals. Right?
That was the murals. And beautiful pictures. So then they got to beautiful carvings. That's Naomi again. Dr. Jill says they're nice. And then of course I love the comment from your friends. From Patricia, she says the comfort birds are wonderful. They have an amazing energy about them. I have one and I also give them as gifts. I don't even know how many we've given as gifts now because we've given several. So anyway, I love the birds.
Yeah.
And we share the birds because they're absolutely phenomenal. So
yeah, they become they're very unique and they become a good talking point in conversation. And so I even appreciate my little birdie. But we now have them all gathered in one spot, and so and we put them on screen behind us. Of course, you tuck them down to display them so that the viewers can see. But just wonderful creativity that you guys just move from one idea to another. I mean, it's like your life, your marriage, your partnership seem to be so much intertwined in you guys doing business together. And that's very unique because, some couples have difficulty working in harmony like that. And that doesn't mean that there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying to be able to do it as long as you guys have and to move from one.
Because you guys have been married how many years?
24
years.
24 years. Right.
Wow. Yeah.
And so you went from all of the things you've done before you came together. You came together around antiques, and then and then able to use all of your past skills to start that business, and then to move it to another location, and then to realize that it was time to move on to the next dream. And then here come the mural project, which Brenda said that was a blessing for the children.
Yes. Yeah.
And then to move from that to the photography, and then from photography back to
carving,
carving and woodcraft. So I mean, you guys have almost like gone to full circle. And even with that, we know how you have given yourself over to designing and blueprinting a life that you and Bob would like to live out in the future. And so we know the ideas that you already uh, blueprinted in terms of things that you would love to experience. So
Okay, so I'm going to share. I'm going to share a couple of more. Naomi said, "I have a collection of elephant and butterflies, and would like to start a new collection." So then she asked if Oliver and I will give Carol and Bob her email address so that she can order the birds. Absolutely, we'll do that. Isn't that wonderful? Bob and Carol, do you guys have a little surprise for those that are watching tonight?
Yes, we do. We would like to give away one of our comfort birds. And in order to do that, we would like Oliver to pick a number from 1 to 30. And everybody in the chat, pick a number.
Put your name and.
Well, the name that comes with it, honey.
No.
Oh, well, yes, we need your name. Pick a number. And the one closest to Oliver's number without going over will win the bird.
And we'll have you give Yolanda your address, and we will send you one of the birds, and we will be very happy to gift that.
Okay, so listeners, you guys get a great opportunity here. You're going to write a number between 1 and 30. Put your number with your name, although I'm seeing all the names come up. And whoever comes closest to the number without going over is going to receive one of the comfort birds as a gift from Bob and Carol. How wonderful is that?
how wonderful is that?
Okay.
So we'll give a little time to make sure everybody get theirs in. There's Sheila Johnson.
Hello,
Sheila.
Sheila. So good to see you tonight. I'm waiting for Dr. Jill to put in her number. Let's
just
see.
Put it in the chat. There she goes.
There you go, Dr. Jill. Whoa. Okay, I think that's everybody. Okay, hold on. Hello, Sheila. Okay, so now the number is, Oliver, bless your heart, sweetheart. I'm going to just enhance your number a little so that it shows up better, dear. Okay.
All right, drum roll. And the number is...
I don't know if you can see this. Let's get it closer.
No.
You can't see
11.
The number is 11.
It's 11. So that means that
Jill.
Dr. Jill, Dr. Jill, you win the comfort bird. So
how wonderful.
So Dr. Jill, we will be sharing your address with Bob and Carol,
right.
And they're going to ship you a comfort bird. Congratulations. And thank you so much, Bob and Carol, for being, this is the generosity of our dear friends, Bob and Carol. And this is one of the reasons we just love how they decide to express their love. They're so generous. Dr. Jill says, hold on one second. I'll do this with my left hand. She says, yay. and guess what? Patricia says, that is so wonderful. Congratulations to Dr. Jill. Yes, it is wonderful. Bob and Carol, thank you guys so much for sharing your story with us. It's amazing how we come together, and it's beautiful when we make the commitment to stay together, and for you guys to be a married couple and then to have all these different entrepreneurial businesses and ventures that you guys have done is just phenomenal. You appear to work very well together. Oliver and I are going to start taking classes.
We're going to start taking the master class that you guys put on.
That we put on. Yes. We are our own best friends, and we very much enjoy each other's company. We're very happy to be home. We're kind of homebodies, and we're happy with each other. And who knows what next adventure may be waiting for us. We don't know, and we'll be ready if so. You're
Yes.
welcome, Dr. Jill. Wasn't Dr. Jill on the workshop, the vision workshop?
She
Yes.
was. She
I
was.
remember her.
Mhm.
Yes, I
So
remember.
congratulations. And then I'm going to put this comment up as well. Your friend says, Bob and Carol, it has been a joy to know and love you all these years.
Oh,
You know what? I'm so happy and grateful that we have experienced their love for about a year and a half now.
mhm.
I think we met in we were doing a presentation, and that's when we met. You want to tell that story,
Yeah.
Carol?
Oliver and Yolanda were doing a 1 month presentation, and I was so impressed with them that I emailed Oliver and said I was sure that they got a lot of gifts, but I just had something that I wanted to give them because I was so impressed. And it was a reminder of the topic of their beautiful master class. And I needed their address. And they took a chance on a strange person and sent their address. So I sent them a letter and explained a little bit about myself and sent them the gift. And from that, there were a few letters going and exchanging some gifts because they gave us some of their beautiful materials that go with the workshops or things that they do. And we shared different little things with them. Yolanda got the book we only had 2 books made with Bob's photographs. And we never knew what we were going to do with the second one. And Yolanda so loved Barnes that we sent that to her.
Barns and horses.
And horses, and there's
Barns and
Absolutely.
horses. So Barns, horses, and wood, which you didn't know any of that, and all of those things. I was like, oh my goodness, it's like they're reading my mail. It was great. Yes.
but we just started evolving, and it's been emails and texts and phone calls and Zoom calls, and we've never met, but we all feel that we're close friends and have been for a long, long time.
And we believe that we are going to have that in-person physical
Yes.
meeting at some point in time. I'm going to share a couple of comments because I think this is wonderful. Brenda says, so wonderful to see a couple living a life like you all are, both love. And that's just beautiful. And then your dear
Thank you,
friend,
Brenda.
I'm going to share this. She said, Carol and I met almost 40 years ago when we were both at Unity Village, becoming licensed Unity teachers, and we have been close friends ever since. I can just imagine that because in just our little short time,
Yes.
it's just phenomenal.
Yes.
We occasionally do phone calls, and we may do a little live call with Bob and Carol, and it's like Christmas for me.
Yes.
You
So
know,
Yolanda,
Yes.
what is the truly life lesson tonight that we all just got imparted? What would you say the lesson was tonight?
So the lesson that I got from this was our gifts and talents are wonderful by themselves, but when those gifts and talents are shared
Yes.
with someone else, it is an exponential
Yes.
love expression that can be experienced by not just the two
Right.
people, but the other people too.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I am just floored. I'm amazed at just how talented you all were. I knew about the carvings because I had gotten a comfort bird, and I knew about the photography because I had
Got
gotten
the
the
book.
book, which was just it was just amazing. But I had I mean, the murals, I mean, 3D. I'm like, wow, you guys are just so incredibly gifted. And I love your sense of adventure. I mean, I
Yes.
love that, when you see that, okay, this has run its course, then you move, you pivot, you go on to something else.
Absolutely.
I just love that about you
Yeah,
guys.
because every idea, every dream, every dream is temporary.
Yes.
yes.
And we have a desire to experience something, we experience it, and then we move on.
Yes.
A lot of time we get stuck in the experience and make a memorial out of it.
Yes.
But there's other expressions that are seeking to emerge in our life. And so it requires us to be on our growing edge. And when we're in that vibration, life is, like Yolanda says, so adventurous. And we amaze ourselves with what we're able to accomplish. And when, in like the law that says where two or three are gathered together, then there is power in that. And so being a couple and being in business together, it makes it easy for you guys to break through barriers and, actually accomplish what you desire to accomplish. So thank you guys so much.
So, Carol, I'm just wondering, can I put your email? No, I won't do that then.
No, you can put our email up. Yes, put the email up.
Okay, let's
Our
do that.
phone number can go up too, because we like to talk. If anybody is interested in a bird, we like to talk with them and get more personal information, because I do calligraphy a card to go with it and everything. So you're welcome to put up our email, and you're welcome to put up our we can put up our home phone number.
So what we're going to do is we're going to make certain that the patrons get your, so we'll send out an email, and they'll get your, we'll post it in Patreon, and then that way they'll get your email address and your phone number. We'll make certain that we do that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put your email up, and I'm going to flash it across the screen so that folks will get to see that too. Okay. So let me just look this up.
It's my own little blessing to the world.
I love it.
Wow.
Our license plate on our cars, my car says the number 2. It says Joy, number 2, and a U, Joy to You. And on Bob's van, there is Joy, number 4, all. Joy for all.
I love it. All right, so I'm going to type this in. Email address.
We want to thank everyone, Oliver and Yaulanda, for inviting us and everyone that participated. These last couple of days have been a walk down memory lane and going through pictures to put together for the slides. It's really been a fun experience for us to look back.
Yes, because there's so many pictures. It was hard to decide just a few,
All right, let's see here. So we've got blessings and in joy to you at Comcast.net. All right, and now I'm going to put this up on the screen so that other people can see it. Uh-oh, it didn't like that. You see that? See how it's not coming up?
It didn't like the address?
It didn't like that.
You wanted to because the symbols?
I'm going to do it again.
Okay, she's going to try to put your email address in one more time.
Okay.
But
in the meantime, we are going to send, we'll make certain that all the patrons get it.
We'll post in Patreon.
And then Dr. Jill, we're going to share your mailing address with Bob and Carol.
And anyone else that's watching this broadcast or the replay, if you love to get in touch with Bob and Carol and you don't see it in the viewing, you can just inbox Yaulanda and I.
You can put that up now.
Yes, you can just inbox us and our inbox email address.
Up at the top, sweetie, right there.
Okay.
Right there.
That's our email address, okblues@trulyob.com. If you're watching the replay and you would love to get in touch with the Penmans, you can inbox us and we'll get you in contact with them.
Yes, because it is not liking.
It's not liking.
Yeah, it's not letting me put it in. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so thank you, Carol and Bob. We appreciate it, and we're going to move towards closing. And before we close out with our blessing, like we normally do, I just wanted to share that on August the 28th, of 2020. Yaulanda and I are going to be sponsoring what we call a vision workshop. And that will be open to anyone who registers. We're going to be posting the registration next week. So you can look for that on our website or our website, which is www.trulyob.com, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Truly OB, and you will see notice with the information about the workshop, a 2-hour workshop starting at 5 o'clock on Sunday, October 28th from 5 to 7. Don't want to miss this. This is an opportunity for you guys to take a deep dive in some of the transformational principles that we teach. We're going to be focusing in on some very important areas, and so we invite anyone that is interested in getting different results in their life, and anyone's interested in staying on their growing edge, anyone that's interested in transforming, uh, moving from where they are to a different or more adventurous and exciting place, like the Penmans are. So you'll be hearing more about that as we move forward
What did you share?
next week.
Which one did you share? Was it that or was it the website?
I didn't share the website.
Okay, so was this what you shared?
Yes, I shared
Okay,
the
and
email address,
and the Facebook. Okay,
Facebook.
all right, I
Right.
got those both put up. And guess what? Okay, are you finished with that?
Yes,
Because
it did
what I
come up.
finally-
All
it
right.
did. So if you'll remove that.
Okay.
All right, and now I finally got it up.
All right.
Oh,
It's for some reason, so sometimes it doesn't like names, or it's just it's persnickety, but I put it in 4 times, and the fourth time was a charm. All right, so that's it. That's the email address for Carol and Bob Penman. So that for anyone who's watching this and especially watching it in the replay, you can contact them.
Directly.
Mhm.
Yes. All right. Hey, don't be surprised if some people be calling you about that wood frame phone booth to see if you still have it.
And the girl that was still in it, the girl that
And
was
the
in it.
girl that was still in it. Bob might have something to say about that.
I'd like to find her again too.
She's there.
Well, she's
there.
all grown up.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you guys so
Oh,
much for
you.
agreeing to come on and to share with our community. Thank you so much for your encouragement and support. Bob and Carol are just super supportive of Oliver and I, and we so appreciate your support, your friendship. I mean, we really appreciate you guys. We love you dearly.
Love you dearly.
Yes.
And with that, we're going to.
And of course, I enjoy our visits, be it phone or I like it when we do it live so I can actually see the facial expressions.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
And of course, I love seeing Bob's handsome face. So
Absolutely. Okay. Well, with that said, we're going to move to our closing segment. And
thank you, Naomi.
Thank you,
we
Naomi.
appreciate you all for being with us. We are so grateful. We're so happy and grateful that you join with us.
Yes.
And we like to do a blessing, which we do. We do this blessing every day for everyone, but we especially want to do this for all of you who have joined with us. We bless you, and we bless all those that you hold near and dear in your heart.
And with that, may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
And may you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose.
That's the Dalai Lama. And Oliver and I have added, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being on the planet. And so it is.
And so it is. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night. But we don't have permission. So
hello, Regina.
Hello, Regina.
Thank you for joining in, but we're about at the end of this rodeo.
Please watch the replay.
Please watch the replay, and we will be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. with another episode of Truly Live. And not going to spend a whole lot of time tonight talking about our celebration. Yaulanda and I, again, celebrating 32 years of marriage. The actual anniversary date is tomorrow, August 5th. And we have some very special plans with some very special people. And it's going to be on and popping here in the Blue household. So if you hear any noise, just know that it's me and my boys and my girlfriends, and we're getting it on. And with that said, I'm going to leave you with a special tribute towards our 4-hour anniversary on the outro.
He's Oliver.
I'm Oliver.
I'm Yaulanda.
And she's Yaulanda. And together we are the
The
OK Blues.
Worship you in spirit and in truth. Lord, I lift my hands in praise to magnify your name. I exalt your name most high, and I bid you to tonight to spend some time with someone who longs for you.
Oh, you were a baby.
Lord, I really want to be with you. So Lord, I wait patiently, hoping you'll draw close to me, so I can feel your loving touch and your peace that means so much, and the joy that comes along fills my heart with a new song to sing to you. How I really long for you. Lord, I really want to be with you, for there is none like Oh Lord, I worship you in spirit and in truth. Lord, I lift my hands in praise to magnify your name, and I exalt your name most high, and I bid you to draw nigh to spend some time with someone who